Hey, super coaches. How are we? I'm super coach skitzFITZZ. Was about to post this video and realize it's 20 minutes of it was boring. So I'll just save you 20 minutes. I'm coming to redo it. Just going to be quick and fast. Pretty upset. I'm one of the unlucky ones who used a boost trade to get LDU this week. Excuse me. I was busy. I was out. I didn't get a chance to change it. I didn't I thought I had a solid team, so I didn't even look at my emergencies this week. I never even set them because I knew I was really happy coming in Thursday night. I done a late minute change LDU. I had Darcy Cameron in. Managed to get a couple of tickets before the Collingwood Tigers game and went with my mate Robbie Rob. Robbie Rob's actually having a little bit. He's having a pretty bad week actually. Might have a quick look at his team after this. But I had Darcy Cameron. Was it Chandler? Who did come in? Sorry. Oh, Setterfield. Yeah, Setterfield, Darcy Cameron, and Chandler. But Chandler might have been. That would have been great because I think I really need to fix up my back line. But we saved a trade. Will Phillips really well. Without LDU and Simpkin in there, I didn't get to watch the game. I was busy. I was at the flower expo in Melbourne near the museum there. I don't know if you got time, but I've got a little bit of a story. So I was there with my family, and I've got a little 4-year-old, and there was thousands of people there, thousands. And we just walked out to the outdoor section where the big pond is and the big water fountain, and this lady just out of nowhere started screaming, "Darcy, Darcy!" plain clothes, like in hysterics, like, "We're looking for a little boy, Darcy. He's lost." And I was like, because she was on her phone, but she must have got the description, and I thought it was the mum on the phone who's just realized she's lost her kid. And I was like, oh. So everybody's turned around, like, we're missing a little boy, Darcy, wearing a jumper, dinosaur on the jumper, a brown jumper, and a hat. And I've got a bad memory as well with descriptions and stuff, but everybody kind of like stopped and had a little look around, and my heart sunk. I got a little 4-year-old boy, and you're thinking in a crowd, you're just thinking the worst predators and the water. There's a big lake, and my heart kind of sunk. And we looked around, and nobody could do anything. But those security kind of moved on to the next section, and we started walking, to check out the flowers and the stalls up another way. But I couldn't think of anything else, and I was thinking about how scared those parents must have been, and I was just kind of like just looking around, and maybe 10, 15. And my missus, my partner, she just kept going. She's like, "What's wrong? You can't stop thinking about, can you?" I'm like, I was almost tearing up, like just thinking just how scary it was. And I was looking around, and then I see this little boy, but there's a stall, and there's parents everywhere, but you don't know who's with who. And I was like, I think that's the boy. And like, I've kind of like started to go up to him, but like, you don't know if a parent's looking at a stall and the kid's like with them, just within the vicinity. So I look like you feel like a little bit of a creep, I'm 32-year-old man, like trying to chase a boy. So I was like going through the crowd, and like this kid's just walking through the stall, just looking at this, wandering off a little bit. And I was just like, "Darcy," but he didn't look. And I went to my partner. I was like, I think that's him. I'm like, "Can you go up to him?" It's a lot better a woman going up to a toddler. And she went up to him. She's like, "Oh, is your name Darcy?" And he's like, he was just kind of like, well trained not to really speak to strangers, but he was just kind of like, doing his own thing. But he's like, yeah. He's like, "I'm Darcy." And so my partner had my son. I'm like, you stay there. And I went to the store. I'm like, "Excuse me, do you work here? Like, I think I found a missing boy." But they had no idea about a missing boy. There's thousands of people. And I'm like, so I just walked up to another security, and I'm like, are you missing a boy, Darcy? Have you found him?" And I'm like, "I think I found him." But then, no, sorry, that lady from the stall was speaking to him, and I've just pointed like, "That's him." And they've got Darcy. like, and then took him back to the family, and we just kind of like just kept walking off, and like, oh, I was just so happy, because we were close to water, we were close to that lake, close to a pond, and yeah, long story. I know it's off topic, but this was moments before the LDU, right? So like I was just not thinking about anything, and like for for the longest time, I just kept walking, and my partner's like, "Are you all right? What's wrong?" And I was just so scared. And he was there with his grandpa. So the little 4-year-old boy has wandered off. It's beautiful flowers and garden show, and he's just exploring. You could just like I just thought that poor grandpa. He's taking his grandson to And anyway, and then so what a roller coaster of emotions, just fear, and then what's more scary? LDU 4 minutes before the game is off with a calf niggle, and I was like, oh no, like I didn't have any time. It was too late. The game was already started. I actually checked to see LDU's score, and he's on 0. I was like, wow, this must be a good tag. And I just kept scrolling through the names, and I just couldn't find LDU. I'm like, I was just so confused, and I didn't see any notifications, didn't see any story headlines or anything, and it is we all know what's happened. It is what it is. Will Phillips was off to a slow start, but I'm very happy with what he was able to total. Callahan, I gave him one more. I should have known. Coming off a shoulder injury. I've had shoulder injuries before. You don't come back as hard. He's good enough to play, but yeah. Upsetting that I didn't have McKenzie on instead. Warple, you'd expect a little bit. You'd expect more from him. I'm not going to get rid of Warple. I reckon. Yeah, that was just against North. Like I didn't get to watch the game, as I was busy. I'll give him another week, but Callahan, depending on how the week goes, Callahan will either be on the bench making me money, or maybe we try to upgrade there. Doherty. 39 disposals. Look at that heat map. Look at the whole thing is nearly lit up. So he had a great game. He kicked a goal, but I think he had 7 clangers. It was, I seen parts of the game. Maybe I caught the last quarter. I did catch the last quarter though. That goal, umpire dissent. Like, one thing I can't stand is the stand rule. Like that's just ruining the game. Umpire dissent. Yeah, we can't be going off at umpires, but you're making them like PSOs. They're like they're above the law. The whistle there's so much whistles. They're so loud. It's piercing. It's you do as I say. Like, it's our game. It's the players' game. It's when this was happening, because I watched the St Kilda game too, and I thought there was some bad decisions both ways, but just let the game. Like, it was a great game, and there's a couple of hard hits that were very similar to some boys that got suspended. That was okay because it's the derby. That's what they love. That's how every game should be. The derby, Anzac Day, finals. You can go hard leading up to the finals. If you're close, you'll probably do a hard hit and you'll get off, because we don't want to see that. It causes, I was at the game. I was at Richmond Tigers game, and I felt like there was a few 50-50 decisions that could have gone both ways. But so I'll say an example. Billy Frampton. All right, as an umpire, he's new to the club. He's taken the ball. He's actually taken it on. And it was a ball up, but you could easily have called that holding the ball. 8 times out of 10, that was holding the ball, but I was happy to just ball it up. But do that the whole game. But then in our back line, a similar scenario would happen, which would result into a free kick, which resulted into a direct goal, like that gameplay instead of a ball up or whatever, which was it's frustrating. It's momentum crushing. And I thought Richmond, wow, I was so happy with the way they played. Grimesy, Baker. The defense held up so strong. They were taking it on. It was a good game, and you could really tell with the Collingwood crowd. Like, they thought they had it. They were getting the calling, they were getting that chant, but they weren't confident in it. They weren't. They were saying it for a bit. People were catching on. It wasn't as loud as possible, and then Richmond will do something. They're like, oh, you never know with Richmond. Biggest X Factor team, and all game. If we didn't have such a depleted backline, like, our best X Factor move is to get Liam Baker in that midfield. Liam Baker, Shai Bolton, even Noah Bolter. But with who do we have out? We had Dusty out, we had Shorty out, we had Broad out. I think we had 6 outs, to be honest. But I was really happy with that game, and credit to where credit's due. Collingwood, they set up so well. Like, a ball's coming in, they set up in front of the ball so well, and they just over the head. They just are in sync. It's really cool to watch. But the Tigers put on some great pressure, and I'm excited for to play them again later in the year. Hopefully with a full side and dry conditions, because I was actually pretty happy that it was raining. I was like, this is good for the Tigers. This is good. But yeah, Dacos, what a machine. When he and I'm a Tiger. I go for the Tigers. When he tackled Maurice Rioli, that was sick. That was sick. And Rioli, mate, you do that 5, 6, 8 times a game. You just got to cop it. You copped it. He gave it to you, mate. That's footy. That was awesome by Dacos. And you know what? Lynchy sticking, always in a scuffle. I love Lynchy. Lynchy's like, even last week, who was it? Tex. Round 1, sorry. Shane McAdam done the hit. Everyone's trying to get into him. Don't give a shit. You bleed your colours. You stick up for your boys no matter what. Tex was just pushing anyone who wanted to try get into McAdam. That's the stuff I love to see. So I guess story time's over. Where were we? More about the SuperCoach. So unfortunate 2 boost trades used in 2 weeks. Week 1, we got rid of Laird, Hopper, and Jones. We did manage to get Dacos in, which I'm happy with. And you know what? I was really down about it, but then Hopper's gone, and a lot of people had to trade out Hopper, or they held. So it's all kind of balancing itself out. LDU to miss this week. Little bit spewing. I'm not going to get this good score. I was using my boost trade this week because I'm in the Skodfather Abs Magic knockout league, and I've been following it, and I've been right at the bottom of the cull each kind of week, and I'm playing a really good Ash. I forget his name. His name's Ash, but I forget he's like 12th or 20th or something, and he's got a really good team. So I was kind of just I had Darcy Cameron, and then I was just trying to do something a little bit different and unique. And I thought, with Darcy Cameron, I wanted to see him one more week against solid Richmond, against Nank. If he done well against Nank, and wowee, I was regretting my decision up until halftime because he was killing it in the wet. I had a question mark in the wet, and I just thought the price that Darcy Cameron was going to go up and Sean Darcy to drop. I wanted to get Darcy's score this week, which hopefully should be, high. But, I could have just done the straight swap if Darcy, loses more money. But, I guess there we go. I've saved that trade. So it all kind of balances itself out. I'm going to drop in the ranks again. I'm probably not going to crack the 2K this week. I'm averaging 2,050 each week. I was 25,000 ranked week 1. I'm 40,000 now. Probably going to go up to 60, but we may have to do another boost trade next week. This is all these videos, I guess, are for me to look back and just next. I'm already excited for next season. Lesson 1: don't trade your keepers. Laird, I should have kept Laird. I'm planning to. The plan was to get Laird back, and actually the plan getting rid of Laird, the Laird money, I wanted Gawn. The way I see Gawn go about it, and then there we go. Like I would have traded Laird. Like I traded that, saving the money for the next week to get Gawn. Gawn done his need that week. It's just a game of luck, isn't it? Just a game of luck. Sorry, I have heaps of conversation. I'm trying to think where we were talking about. I'll probably edit this jittery bit out. Cohen, happy with that. I guess I would have liked to. It's the same as what Constable probably would have given me anyway. Would have been nice to have Mackenzie on instead of Callahan. Warple. I thought we probably talked about Warple before, but I'm not going to get rid of Warple. I think he's going to do much better next week and the weeks to come. Rosie, very good, but that's the derby. That's their grand final. So, and there we go. LDU didn't play, but I swapped Horn Francis for LDU. So I would have had to get rid of Horn Francis this week. I would have been very irritated still having Horn Francis. That would have been like having Braun two weeks in a row, which I did. So I would have been finally get rid of Braun. Now I got to get rid of Horn Francis. I gotta stop saying Hopefully I could try to find a filter to block them out. I was about to do it. I'm not going to do it. Chandler's going to make us some good money. I would very much like to get Cozzy Pickett in. Should probably, I really wanted him in the. He was my first pick. I just knew he was getting more more CBAs, midfield time. He's out of contract. He's just going to have a stellar year. I may do that before and just go with it, run with that. I'll be happy to do that. And then hopefully he gets his double P. I'm calling it double P. I hate saying DPP. I have to take a breath in between. Double P. We all know what it means. Double P. So hopefully Cozzy Pickett gets double P. Might get rid of Bonts. Neil's my Laird. I picked him because of the captain status. I feel that, but maybe the captain, he's overthinking too much. He's thinking about the whole team rather than his own play. He's got Dunkley in there, but then again, things start to heat up after 4 weeks of footy. You've got that match fitness, the preparation. There's no jitters, no nothing. It's go time. It's playing for points. The doc, we've seen that heat map. But the only thing is he's sharing it with Sard and he got a goal as well. That should be a huge score. So maybe we keep one more week the doc. 600, he's going to lose a bit of coin, but maybe we get rid of Ridley. But I think I've shown it before. He's got a tough week coming up, but that's good for defenders. A tough few weeks, The ball's going to be down there a lot. And if Thatcher comes back, then maybe he gets back to that position. Redmond had a stinker, 53 points or something like that. Gave away 250s instantly, and that's crippling. The umpire dissent, there was one where he threw the ball back, absolutely, but and I've got a foggy memory. Maybe they were all 50s. We do kind of have to stop going off at the umpire, but this rule of umpire dissent, what's going to happen? I don't know if anyone's seen Malcolm in the Middle, but there's an episode where he's always angry but he tries to become zen and just keeps it in. He's like, I'm not mad at all. Nope. But he's internally screaming, and then one day he goes to say something, and then he splurts out blood. And they're like, oh, what? Rush into hospital. And it was because of all that suppressed rage that he needs to get it out, and it does more damage. This is going to You know what's going to happen one day? Who was it? Oh man, was it Brisbane or for Port? What's his name? Oh, I've gone blank, but I may have to just find the clip. I'll probably find the clip and edit that out. But oh, please come to me where it was the last game. He just started punching on with his opponent, and he's so ashamed about it. Going back now, but you can imagine if that was like, say you're about to retire, you're in a grand final, the umpires cost you like the way the Carlton game. An umpire's probably going to get, and I don't condone it, but I can just see it potentially happen in the future if players are not allowed to express their frustration, and when it costs you, and this is your life, or like the crowd, someone in the crowd, like people are going to people are going to have enough. And I also, going on that, I had a bit of a thought. Each year, it's our game. It's the people's game. It's the players' game. They keep changing the rules, to protect the players and stuff like that. But we play this game, whether you're professional or not, you're playing in local leagues or not, you're playing your heart out. If you get concussed, you get concussed. You cop it down. Fair enough, as a professional, it's your job, and you should be protected, and we need to do some measures. But this is causing more injury. Like this, though, everybody's afraid to pick up the ball because you're dragging it in. Like, we want that hard contested footy. I've lost my train of thought. So there might be a little cut edit right here. The players, spewing. Kidding me. Let's backtrack a bit. So the umpire dissent, ruining the game. Malcolm in the middle. Somebody jumping the fence. Yeah, I think we all catch my drift. The stand rule on the mark, that's probably not what I was talking about. That's another thing I want to talk about. That's got to go. The stand rule, like being on the mark, jumping up and down, corralling, putting that pressure to make a player kick it on the full. Like, I know they want to, it's come back to me what I was talking about. But I will keep going on with this. Like that's an art form. That's a defender's art form to be able to, like, when they run off and to get a tackle, you know they're about to handball it, and then you get the other person, or you're able to balk. It's just, stop taking away the beautiful things about the game just because because the game's getting boring, or coaches are coming up with other tactics that slow up the game. Don't care. Like, you're taking away the art of the game. I've lost it again. I should have stopped when it was there. Taking away the art of the game. Let me have a sip. Oh dear, I'm running hot. I'm running red hot right here. This is probably why I'm called skitzFITZZ. That's it. Bingo. Bang, light bulb. Finally. Sing hallelujah. Better say it before I lose it. I've got an idea. It's our game. They keep making all these rules each year, but who's the panel? They select the panel that get paid money to make these decisions for safety. But us as the people don't get a say. You want to get more members? How about you make it that as a member, you get to vote on the rule changes? How about that? All right. The players get to vote. They get a higher vote because they're the players. How about we invest more money into concussion prevention? How about we invest more money into like payments after footy, like what's it called, like insurance, in case people are unable to work or it affects them? How about, there's going to be more money with the broadcast deals and things like that. How about we do that? How about we dedicate like less pay, but it goes towards an insurance? Like there's got to be other ways. Like, just stop changing the game. I reckon that they're changing the game to make it like soccer. They want to get the youth kids or the ethnic kids to want to play AFL. You got, you know, ethnic families coming over. They're all about soccer, and their kids, you know, go to an Aussie school and say, Dad, Mum, Pa, whatever, I want to play AFL. They're like, no way, too dangerous, too dangerous. You know, you do your knee, you get concussed. No way. They're turning it in. Now we're going to have yellow cards and red card. They're turning it into soccer, just trying to make it a world game. Keep it AFL. Keep it Aussie. Spread it. But this is how we play. We used to send our highlight reels. Like, people used to go, what the hell is wrong with these guys? Yeah, we got to tone it down a bit. But yeah, we went off topic. Well, not off topic, but yeah, there's a lot of frustrating things about footy, but yeah, we should be able to vote. Everybody becomes a member. They want to introduce these new rules. Us as members vote. Us as players vote. If it's in or not. Done. Let me know what you think. Maybe that's just a stupid, crazy idea, but yeah. Anyway, I think that's enough. I think that's enough. This is my team. We've gone through some battles, but we'll be all right. Got 3 people to play today: Chandler, Darcy, Jinby. Jess is on the bench. Yeah, let us know how you're going. Let us know what you think about my team. Another thing, so that's why I'm kind of new here, but I used to stream, like, through the pandemic, I was streaming Call of Duty, but that's so toxic. I was streaming that on Twitch, but you know, now I'm here on YouTube doing this stuff. I'm definitely going to be getting AFL 23 when that comes out, and I will be streaming that and doing content on that. And this, you know, I'm addicted to SuperCoach at the moment. As if you're watching this, I guess you are too. So if you like what I'm about, this is about, you know, if you want to subscribe or whatever, or if you see some more videos, get interactives, send us your team, let us know what you think. And yeah, if you stuck around this long, I appreciate you. Thank you. Have a good afternoon, and I hope your team does well.